Guys, it's Daniel here, and I just acquired this Hangar 9 P-51 Mustang Redtail. Really cool design. It's got a Evolution engine, is what they're called. I believe this one's a 46cc, although a lot of people tell me it's a 20cc. Not too sure, but they operate pretty much the same. Uh, I'm working on restoring this, so as you can see, it needs a little bit of work. Canopy is yellow, so I ordered a new one of these. We'll see what happens. As for the actual rest of this part where the pilot sits, you know, I did some work with the heat gun, and it's got some wrinkles. I got a lot of it out, but unfortunately went just a little bit too far on this side. It's starting to peel up. So I'm going to have to go back and redo that with an iron. A heat sealing iron, I believe it's what it's called. I'm very new to this, so I'm just getting into the process of this. These wings need some work. The landing gear is backwards, so I got to reverse that. And these have tons of wrinkles. Tons of wrinkles. So yeah, I got a heat sealing iron. And got a heat sealing iron off of Amazon that was built for this, and they sent me just the sock. So anyways, see you guys in about a week from now. Okay, so I'm back a few days later now. I still haven't gotten the iron that I want, but I think I kind of want to I want to bench test the engine on this thing. And ignore the foamy XK Mustang. I'm gonna do a video on this Mustang a little later. It got airtime today, and it wasn't too bad. But I do want to make some changes. Like I'm gonna try out a different transmitter and receiver, but that's for another video. Ignore the wiry mess. I'm sure anyone that's a hobbyist has a mess. Anyways, so I want to try this engine out, and I want to break it in. So I've never actually run a nitro engine before, and what I did was I took off the nose here to access it and see it. I have worked on engines before, but I haven't worked on nitro engines. So this is something that's new to me. I'm just not exactly familiar with you know, how they're supposed to sound, how they're supposed to look. You know, I kind of figured if it sounds like a lawnmower, then I'm doing something right. But anyway, so tomorrow I'd like to bench test that. But first, I do want to put the plane back together and make it look pretty. I have it apart, so it's kind of in pieces right now. So what I'm going to do right now is I didn't get to video, or I should say, I didn't get to record me taking it apart, but I want to show you putting it back together in this video, just to show you sort of how these Hangar 9 Mustangs go together. I tried to, and we'll get to this in a second, I tried to get a new canopy piece for it, because this is all yellow. I don't know if that's how they came. I doubt it. Looks gross. So I ordered a clear one off of Amazon. It was for the right model, I think. I'm not too sure. And it's just a little bit, yeah, too big. So that's, yeah. So it's just gonna look gross, okay? But I'm gonna try to take out some of the wrinkles. I've already done that to this piece of the cockpit, so that is going to basically be like that until I get the iron. But today I'm going to work on these wings over here, and I'm going to show you sort of what I've done with this. It's pretty cool. So just to catch you up to speed, first of all, I took off these wing guards. They are going to go back on because they're trainer wing tips, and they're meant to help the plane fly slower, so that way some guy like me that's not really been flying every single day can fly it. So, but I just took them off so that way I could inspect this. It's a little wrinkly. I'm going to try to deal with that. Another thing I noticed was this aileron was not working. This is the left wing, the left meaning towards the pilot's eyes. It's on that side. So, yeah. Anyways, you get the idea. So, this aileron was not working. I thought it was a servo. I thought it was maybe the transmitter receiver. Nope, all good. Turns out there was this yellow wire inside here. It's difficult to see, but that little yellow wire here was just torn apart, and it was just ripped. So I just soldered it back together. I found some like 50-year-old wire that had been sitting around out of an old car, and I put it in there. So now that both the ailerons are working, so in this video I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna fix this landing gear because it's backwards, and I'm gonna take out some of these wrinkles from the wings. And then if we have time, maybe I'll get to the cockpit as well and getting to fix that with everything. So let's just pop loose. I don't know if they do. I mean, is there something I'm missing with this? What's underneath there? Oh. We'll just pretend that never happened. Heard something snap over here. I have no idea what that was. It doesn't look like anything broke yet. That's a new one. Ooh, me. If it's snapping, that means I'm fixing it, right? Man. I don't know what's going on. Why won't the thing come out? I'm pulling on it. Just pulling on it. It's coming up. Okay, it's coming up. I think maybe it was just jammed in there. Man. Whoever put this together the first time, they absolutely failed. Absolute failure. Absolute mess. Of course, here, failure is not an option. Not in Dan's Hangar. Alright, maybe. Man, that was a piece of work. Maybe next time we'll use some WD-40. You can see it's clean in there. It looks fine. Hope it didn't snap any balsa wood doing that. That was a piece of work. Some guy, I think, even in the forum I'm on Facebook, was like, "Let's rip that landing gear out, make it a belly lander." No. Nope. That is not how we work. Please use landing gear. By all means, use landing gear. Anyways, I'm going to take this off now. I'm glad I got that out. I think I tried before to get that out, and I didn't do it successfully, but this time it looks like I managed to do that. So I'm going to take this out. Take this all off, I should say. I don't know if it's necessary to take these little panels off. I don't think it is. That is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that's connected to a servo. I forgot about that. Yeah. What are you doing, Daniel? I can hear the comments already. You know what? It feels like every time I pull at this, it gets worse. So I think what I'm going to do is, before I dig a hole too deep to bury myself in, I'm just going to heat gun it, if that's okay. I had to flip you guys back around. It was the other way, so I couldn't see exactly what I was filming, but now I'm over here. So, see? Now I can see myself. Anyways, you know, the first YouTube video is always supposed to be the bad one. Yeah, we're all about that here. I do have some extra Ultra Coat. I found it. I don't know if they still make it or anything. But this is Hangar 9 Ultra Coat, and this is in case this peels. So the idea is to get this thing, basically, just take out the wrinkles a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna make it look perfectly flat ironed because I don't have a flat iron. I don't have anything to do that with. So I'm just gonna take a heat gun and I'm gonna put it on low, if my cable will cooperate, and I'm just gonna go like this, and I'm just gonna go over it. I'm gonna get a little close, but not like touching it close, like around like that close. And I'm gonna go over it, and I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna do that slowly, and I'm gonna go over it until it starts to stretch, and then leave it, because I don't want to burn this spot. In fact, I think one of the wings has a burn spot on it for when someone tried to do that. It's not this one. It's the other one. So, right here. See? That is from someone's cigarette ash or whatever, or someone got too close with a heat gun and it caused that to happen. Or, I don't know, someone dropped it. I'm not too sure. But it looks like that happened, and that can happen. So, here we go with the heat gun. I'm just going to show you the way I do it. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but this is how I do it. On low. By the way, have your heat gun on low. Do not have it on high. Oh yeah, I might not want to heat gun too close to my fresh Ultra Coat. That could probably cause an issue. Yeah. Come on. Alright, you see that? Oh, see that? It's a million times better. Like this, I'm fine with this. It's not perfect. I mean, I obviously, if I wanted to perfect it, I would go over it with a flat iron and just go over these little tiny spots here, but this works for me. And for right now, for what I'm trying to do, which is basically start it up and taxi it and get it going, this is exactly perfect. So I'm taking it really slow. You just want to really slowly go over it and just take your time. Don't overdo it. And like with these little edge pieces here where you see like a little wrinkle here, don't mess with that. That's just going to peel right up, and it's just going to make your day that much worse. The result. So, you know, it looks a lot better than it did before on both wings. It's not perfect, and I mean, there's some spots, well, I'll show you. So there's some peel here. There's some peel here. I think someone actually tried to heat this years ago, and then it ended up like that, and then they just quit. There's some peel up here as well. So I'm gonna have to go with the flat iron to make it perfect, but this will get the job done for right now, just to get it on the plane and make sure everything's working, and do a quick taxi run with it. I also got the landing gear on as well, right ways, forwards, like this, not the other way. And I basically managed to get these things that used to be called screws to go in those things used to be called holes with this thing that used to be called a screwdriver. All of these are stripped out some which way or form, and the landing gear is on. So there you go. So I mainly just wanted to access the engine here so I could see and make sure every component was connected properly. I posted in the in an RC Airplane page on Facebook just to ask some questions and just sort of get a general overview of these engines. And I was asking sort of, oh, what's the torque specification on these bolts? And I got a lot of backlash. I got a bunch of like, oh yeah, maybe you should just quit flying, and like a whole bunch of other terrible stuff people said in the comments. So in short, they basically just made fun of me. These things, all of these bolts are just tightened down until they're really tight. There's no torque specifications on them at all. So I'm going to put the nose cone back on, and then I'm going to work on the fuselage some over here. Here's the results of the heat gun. Some of it turned out okay. Some of it turned out, well, not so okay. So, this part looks okay. This looks great. But there's a lot of peeling. There's a lot of issues. Even on the front here, there's even a portion here that's really bad. Actually, right here, it's hard to see, but it's peeling up down there, and I had to put tape to keep my stand from peeling the rest of that up. So I'm gonna have to repatch some of this and go back with an iron. So just do yourselves a favor and get yourself a real iron, and don't try doing this unless you really know what you're doing. And if you do, you're probably gonna use an iron. So I'm gonna get the nose cone on. I'm gonna show you how to do that because there's a trick to it, and it's really weird. And then I'm gonna fully assemble this and then test all the ailerons and the servos. I'm going to test all the servos and everything. Okay, so to put the nose cone on, it's kind of tricky. First of all, the thing you have to do is you have to take this, I guess this is really the nose cone. I don't really know what part is the nose cone per se, but you got to take the propeller cone off. To do that, you have to use an Allen key, and they make them really, really difficult to get to. You have to go inside here, essentially, and loosen these up, all of them, all 3 of them, 4 of them, 3 of them, and yeah, and then take the cone off, and then you have to take the propeller off, which is easy, and then actually putting the yellow nose cone on the front of this, that's the tricky part. So you see, it's hard to get inside here. I'm probably not using the correct tool. If you guys have the correct tool, yeah, like, it's going to make your life that much easier. By that much, I mean 1,000 times easier. But we're doing this the redneck way. All this is the redneck way on Dan's channel. Every bit of it. And personally, I would not like to break any of these parts, just because so far getting parts off the internet has been very difficult for me. Like, every single part I've tried to get for this so far has been the wrong size, or it's been not exactly right, or just, you know, it becomes a downward spiral of just getting the wrong part, even though it says it's the right part. You really can't trust any website you get stuff from, unless it's the manufacturer, which I don't know if Hangar 9 even makes these anymore, or if they exist. I don't know anything about them, or their catalog. So, oh, yeah, and of course that bolt has gone into oblivion, but you can find it. So, fell into a suitcase sitting next to the desk. Convenient. So now, I'm going to take this little nut off right here. And to do that, typically, you're supposed to use a wrench. So I'm going to use the best wrench in the world, aka a pair of pliers. So I can strip the nut out and then break the whole thing. Yep, and that's over there somewhere. And I think this thread's on, not too sure. I don't think it's threaded, it's pretending to be threaded. So, cool, I'm going to find those parts later. Then the next thing you have to do is you have to take the exhaust off. Again, this is super tedious to do this. And I don't feel like finding an exhaust portion for this, because in all the forums that I posted in, all the guys said that, oh yeah, you can't find those Evolution engines anymore, so that tells me that no one really wanted them to begin with. So, they probably are on eBay somewhere selling for $100, and I don't feel like spending that on this. So, exhaust manifold's gotta come off, and you guys can't see the difficulty associated with the exhaust manifold and the nose cone that I'm about to put on, but on the other side here you cannot put this, and there goes my washer. You cannot put this yellow nose cone on with the exhaust on. It will not go on. You can't do it. So you have to take that off. And again, apparently there's no torque spec to any of these bolts. You just tighten them up good and tight, and you're good to go, and hopefully you don't crash into a tree or a small child or a dog or something. I ran into a dog at the AMA field today. Someone just decided to walk their dog onto the field. I don't know why. He wanted to attack the plane. I was like, no, please don't eat my plane. Not this plane, the XK Mustang. This plane it's a garage project. It's a handful. So, just took that off, and, oh, don't forget to disconnect your, fuel line. or whatever that is. I think it's the back pressure line. It needs crankcase pressure to go on. Now, here's the tricky bit. Basically, you have to bring it in closer. So, in order to take this off, you have to basically remove this black cap. To do that, there's a tiny, tiny, tiny little tab on the other side. I'm going to demonstrate. Oh, grief. You're not at the right angle. There's a tiny little tab here that, again, you can't see because you're out of focus. But this little tab here, it's got to lift. It's got to lift up. It's got to lift up so that way this piece can thread off. So... back on the tripod. So essentially you gotta pull this tab back and then unthread it all the way. Go all the way. Just take it off. It's okay. You're not gonna damage anything doing this. And if you do damage anything, you can blame me. Actually, don't. It's not my fault. Not my fault. So yeah. So now that that piece is off, now we're going to take, finally, we're going to take this yellow nose cone, put it on. So to do this, you got to be really, really careful with it. You know, you got Jesus crap. Yeah, like that. Wait, oh crap, the line is not coming out the side. Okay, okay. Instead of it just being Grace, it's Amazing Grace. Did this thing change? What's going on? What's going on? Now it's all loopy and weird and everything. I know it'll go on because I took it off before and it was the same way. So it's got to go back on, right? They're just a pain. They really are. They just, you know, gotta just get the thing. Yeah. You just try to get the thing over here. Great. Now I'm scraping this up, so that's perfect. What's catching up on this? Oh, it's the counterweight at the front here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Nope. Yeah, I guess that's one way to do it. I think I actually had to take this counterweight off the first time I did that. That is a counterweight, I think. I hope. Most engines are balanced somehow. So, anyways, I'm new to this, as you can tell. And this thing, it just goes on kind of like this. You know, you just take your screws, you know, you put them in, put the screw in the hole. Put that screw in the hole. It's just the way it is, apparently. Amazing Grace. Disassembly is the inverse of reassembly. So, anyways, yeah, you get the idea. So now I'm going to put this little thing that we just took out back in here, which I believe is the idle, the high idle screw. So there's a certain setting for that, which I'll go over in the next video, which is startup. But we're not going to start this up yet. I don't want to wake the neighbors up. I'm just going to put it all the way in until it's nice and until it stops. Don't take it further than that. That's as far as it'll go. Don't want to strip it out. Don't strip any of this out. It's all aluminum. It's not steel or cast iron. It will strip out. And when you put your exhaust on, make sure your gasket is in between there too. There's a gasket that goes there. If you don't put that on, you might You might have a leak. You just might. I think my washer fell in there. Well, that means I gotta take it back off again. You get the idea. It's a real pain. This nose design, whatever engineer did this, it's just not really the person I would hang out with, I don't think. Wait, it's here to stay. Oh, never mind. It's coming. It's coming off this time. Not today. Alright. So, to find my washer that I lost in there, it's just... Yeah, I mean... Like, I just... And this is where my ratings go down. Alright. You're coming off. You're coming off again. See? Nothing. Didn't fall in there. So, I don't know where on earth it went. Second time losing a nut or a bolt or just something. I think that was actually a lock washer, but that's okay. We can call it whatever we want because it's missing. So, fall into the exhaust by chance? Nope, probably not. Could have. It is just, it's gone. It's really gone. Actually, I don't even think you need the washers for the wing, those lock washers for the wings. This is going to be the part where everyone on the Facebook page is like, "Oh, you don't actually need that. We just do without it." It's like what they said about torque specs and everything. So, just gonna put this back on. Like that whole thing just never happened. Well, that washer's gone. It's in oblivion. It is gone. It ceased to exist. It is no more. It sure is just it's gone. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Alright. Yeah. And back with this, and wow, okay. Let's try to put the exhaust on again. I think this might end up being a separate YouTube video. Why? Why is this even designed like this? I know it's just a toy, but it's like, come on. It's just a... Oh, great. Yeah, that sounded wonderful. You know, I got an idea here. What if I put the bolts in first, and then I put on the shroud, which actually, I think that's what this is called, but nose cone shroud, whatever you guys call it. Who knows? Who knows? The engine shroud, engine hood, the hood. Yeah, so this, man, okay, alright, okay, just makes my life that much more miserable. Alright, come on. Cool, wow, alright, and that's like half the work. I'm gonna try to use the correct tool. Yeah. All right. Then I'm gonna put the exhaust on. So only after I damaged every last bit of the aircraft body to get to it. Just about. I love being a mechanical engineer. It's just amazing. All my paint scraped up. All my paint got scraped up. Yeah. Good and snug. Good and tight, as you guys like to say on that page. Oh, and don't forget to plug in your crankcase hose. You might not have enough back pressure if you don't put that in. All right. Okay, and that's in. So now remember, like what I said before. And then now I'm going to put these screws in. Amazing grace. Okay, now put this on. Put your counterweight on. This just goes thump, like that. And then fancy piece here. And another fancy piece goes on here. The propeller that totally does not thread on. It's pretending to thread on, so. Okay. There should be another washer, and then this nut goes on, and I'm going to try to get a wrench this time. That would be 7/16 millimeter. Yeah, got it. Alright. Yeah, I want that down to a bit more Ogadogas. Because I don't feel like losing a propeller mid-flight. And then the nose cone. Oh, yep, man. There goes another one. So, make sure you put your nose cone on straight, ladies and gents. If you don't, well, it's going to look crooked whenever it's flying. I think it's tight enough. I think it's good enough. It is just metal on plastic after all. There. Happy? Good. Didn't ask. I did. Now the most important part is that you gotta get the Mustang exhaust on. You want to make sure you're putting the screws in the holes that were there, not making new ones. Because then, well, then you're going to have a bunch of holes in your plane if you do that. And that's not fun. Let's not put a bunch of holes in the plane that don't need to be there. Why is it all crooked now? I think it's just gonna be crooked. Yep. It's crooked. Oh. I did exactly what I told you guys not to do. So. Oh, crap. I can hear that wood splitting. Oh, there you go. I figured it out. It's just a piece of garbage. That's what it is. Oh, did I just, like, somehow magically guess which side the exhaust goes on? That's amazing. Yeah, it's different on either side, apparently. The right side is a little shorter because your real exhaust pops out over it, apparently. But you guys, you'll see that soon. You'll see what I mean. This thing smells kind of funny. It smells like Michigan for some reason. Michigan has a distinct smell, from what I remember. Very interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's good enough for government work. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do a two-parter on this and call it here. But yeah, that's how you put the nose cone on. And yeah, see you guys next time.